Welcome. We are talking today with Jill and Jared Belcher. I'm Haley Jones, and of course, this is Big Orange Business, the podcast. And we're going to talk with Jill and Jared today about their wedding videography business.
That's right.
But before we get into that, we always do a little rapid fire.
Okay.
So this is just really so people can kind of get to know you, what you like,
Okay.
if they actually like you. No, I'm just kidding. But it is just for them to get to know you.
Love
Okay.
it.
And they are pretty like Tennessee themed. So
Yeah.
you may want to gag a little bit, but
Okay.
it
Sure.
gets to the heart of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. Are you a Vol fan?
Nominally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I want them to win, but
They had to look at each other to answer that. Okay. Okay, Jared, where are you from?
I'm from here. I'm from Jefferson City.
Jefferson City,
Jefferson City, Tennessee.
Jill, where are you from?
I'm from Knoxville.
Go figure.
Didn't travel far.
Okay, Jared, reading books or watching TV?
Reading books.
Any like thing you're reading right now that you're like, love this?
I'm too embarrassed to say how nerdy I am. Should I say how nerdy I
Yeah,
am?
just say it.
I'm reading a book about Tolkien's theology.
Oh,
J.R.R. Tolkien, who wrote
that is
Lord of the
nerdy.
Rings. Yeah.
That is. Didn't think we were gonna go
So
there.
people are getting to know me real quick.
Okay, Jill, what are you reading? No, reading or watching TV?
I'm gonna go with reading, actually.
What are you reading right now?
I'm almost done with Harry Potter 5.
Oh,
Fifth Harry Potter. So
I've only read the first one,
they're great.
They get better.
and I didn't think it was bad. It's just a time commitment.
Yeah, it's
And they get longer too.
And
they
also-
get a lot longer.
Well, I'll like read a chapter and then it'll be like a week before I get to the next one, and I'm like, I have
Like,
no
I
idea
can't- who are
this
these?
is.
Yeah, like what's going on?
Like,
What
I
are
don't
these
know what's
names?
happening.
Yeah.
Okay, professional sports or college sports? I don't even know if you're really into sports.
I mean, we like MLS, so professional, I
Okay.
guess.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Any favorite MLS team?
Oh, Nashville. SC.
Nashville.
100%, yeah.
Nice. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
I'm tea.
I'm coffee. I mean, I have cold brew as at this very moment.
Wait, what kind of tea do you drink?
I like peach tea,
Oh, never knew that.
hibiscus.
Hibiscus, very fancy. Okay, Jared, chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate. Dark chocolate. The darker the better. Yeah.
Jill?
Probably chocolate.
Probably.
Well, I like vanilla
I mean-
ice cream
Oh,
with chocolate syrup.
chocolate. Okay. Jared, working out or hanging out?
Hanging out. I wish I liked working out. I need to like working out. But hanging out.
Jill?
Working out. 100%.
Oh, a little difference there.
Yeah. Opposites attract.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay. Football or basketball?
Basketball.
Probably basketball to play.
Really?
I don't.
I mean, to
To
play, I
watch,
guess. I don't
I
know.
Yeah, that's a good question. Are we watching or are we playing?
To play.
I
Let's say
don't
to
wanna
play.
Play is definitely basketball.
Yeah, I agree with that. Football, I feel like
Football games can be fun. Like going to a UT
Yeah,
game is really
that is
fun.
fun. I
Yeah.
agree. Mountains or beach?
Oh, I struggle with this one. I'm gonna say beach though, because I've
Okay.
missed the beach.
Yeah, what beach?
Well, we really like 30A. That's a
Oh.
golf.
Swanky.
I really like still.
Who doesn't like 30A?
Everyone says that. Well, you see those like 30-day bumper
Yeah.
stickers,
I know
and
you
you're
can't
like,
be that person.
they're
I
a
guess.
cool person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
I really like Myrtle Beach because.
Jill took me to Myrtle Beach. Like I had never been until we got married, and Jill's like, "Jared, Myrtle Beach is the greatest," and it's just basically Gatlinburg on the water.
Yeah,
like, that's
it
all it
is.
is. It was fine,
It's fine.
but
Is it
it's not.
though?
It's not really
More
my thing.
nostalgia.
Yeah,
I'm not really into it. No offense, Myrtle Beach, not into you.
we always grew up going to Florida, so
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, it's a nicer vibe there. I feel.
yeah, we had family there, so
Oh yeah. Okay, Jared, Peyton or Dolly?
Peyton.
Jill?
This is really hard.
I mean, we have a
I-
Dolly book for our
I
kids, but we
know.
don't have a Peyton
I
Manning
do
book.
love Dolly, but I really also love Peyton.
Peyton has
Say
not.
Peyton.
There's not like a Peyton Wood theme park.
I know.
That's true.
Yet.
True, there's an idea.
He's
yeah.
he's on a
Mannings.
different route entrepreneurially
Yeah.
than like
I'm
Dolly
gonna
is.
say Peyton.
You
Wait,
can
who would
change
you,
it
who would
later.
you say?
It's hard.
Dolly.
Okay.
Because I think Dolly has done so much
She has the
for
reading.
like yeah, her everything
Yeah.
that she's built.
She's done a lot
is
for
like,
the community. Yeah.
And what's funny
She's
is
made
like
songs.
my mom used to just make so much fun of her, and I'm just like, Dolly showed you. That's how Anyways, And I'm listening to her book right now.
Oh yeah.
Which is really interesting because she talks about like her, like not her uniforms, her costumes. And, like,
Oh yeah.
And like her look, and she's like, I know it looks bad, but I feel good in it. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's been her through her whole career is like, she just trusts her intuition of like what she likes.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
cool.
Okay, cool.
I'm 50-50.
It can really go either way, right?
Okay, all right. So let's talk about your business Noble Limits. Okay, so obviously people go to your website, check it out, and just see like who you are. But if you wanted to give like a, the quick spiel about Noble Limits, what would you say?
Do you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
Go for it.
I mean, so we do wedding videography. Like weddings are the main thing. And we really got started because we got married and we happened to have a friend who is like a legit filmmaker. Like he's in California. He's like a legit filmmaker. He filmed our wedding. And I don't think we realized until we got married how special that was going to be for us.
Yeah.
It's something we revisit every anniversary. We have our whole ceremony that we can watch from beginning to end, and then just moments throughout the day it's kind of like a time machine.
Yeah.
It's like you can go back and relive, and you can like overhear, like kind of eavesdrop on people's conversations they were having that day, and it just takes you back in a way that photos it's just not quite as immersive.
Right.
Like you just can't quite get the vibe that you can from a video. So for us, it became really personal, where we were like, I do videography. What if we did this for other people and help them capture their wedding day and kind of give them like a time capsule that they can go back and visit? So for us, it's pretty personal, honestly. And that's why for us, it's really important that we get to know the couple that we're working with.
Yeah.
We want to see that chemistry. We want to see that they are in love, that they're excited about their wedding day. And then we are so honored, to get to be a part of something like that. It's just something so meaningful. And as a videographer, same with photographer, you're spending more time with the wedding couple than anyone else. Like even their family,
that's
right?
True. I hadn't thought
You are
about
with
that.
them from beginning to end. You're seeing these really private moments. So we just see it as just a total honor.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, like, how do people, like, who would you say wedding videographer is a fit for? Like, every person, or you know what I mean? Like, who?
It's not for every person.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to answer.
Yeah. Well, we are with you all day. So if you don't want to be on camera all day, or if you're very shy, or if you just don't.
If you're a very private
person, or those things are not.
I would also say I put wedding videography into a luxury category for weddings.
Yeah.
So like in terms of a budget priority, I would say most people it shouldn't be a budget priority.
Yeah.
It's like for me, I would say like venue photographer are budget priorities.
Yeah.
And then if you have the money, do the videographer.
Yeah.
But like the photos are going to last through generations in a way that's just going to be not quite the same for video. So I would usually say it's for someone who has a little bit of that headroom in their wedding budget.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So not for someone that's just like, I've got $5 or whatever. Like
right.
I need
if you're planning a $1,500
yeah.
wedding, a wedding videographer like a professional is not the way to go.
Right.
Because that's going to be your whole budget.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. So when you are this may be dumb, and I think I know the answer, but like when you're saying that you're with them the whole day, it's not as if like they're mic'd up or whatever. Correct? It's like, it's you are kind of in the shadows capturing the moments. Mm-hmm. Do you have like I know like wedding photographers have like, these are the shots that we want. So when you go, what does the planning of that look like with the bride and groom? Like, are there moments that you know that you're going to capture for sure? Or like, what does that look like?
Yeah, and it's different for every wedding. So what we do is we sit down with the bride and groom. Like once they book, we'll sit down with them a few months before because they've had time to meet with their wedding planner and get the schedule done with their photographer and all this. At that point, we'll meet with them and we find out what are the special moments of your day, because everyone does weddings differently, especially these days. Yeah. Like the traditional weddings are kind of out, and it's really about with that couple. Yeah. And so we sit down and we go, what are the moments that, like, if nothing else gets filmed, the most important things to you? Like, what are those moments going to be? And then we make sure, of course, that we build those into the schedule. But the consistent ones are always going to be, if there's a first look, that's a really big deal. And I'd say most couples these days do a first look because it just makes you.
So when you say like when bride and groom see each other, not like the guy standing at the at the altar or whatever.
Exactly.
You mean like it's
Yeah.
a private moment.
It's
right?
like hours before the ceremony
yeah.
where
Okay.
the bride and groom can see each other for the first time. And the main reason you do that is because then you can knock out so many things before the wedding,
Yeah.
like photo-wise, especially.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so that's like always a given. If there's a first look with the bride and her dad, that's pretty
Aw.
common these days.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it'll make you tear up a little bit. And so we'll do those. If there's a letter reading, we can talk about that in a minute, but that's pretty popular for video. And then of course the ceremony is always going to be the big one. So like one of the things that we do that's a little bit different for us from some other videographers is we film the whole ceremony from beginning to end.
Okay.
So like if your ceremony is 30 minutes long, we'll film that whole 30 minutes from like 4 different camera angles.
Oh,
and so
that's
then later we're going in and we're like editing to like get to the best shot for whatever's happening.
Okay.
And we might even move just a little bit during the ceremony just so we make sure we have like the best shots. And then during that time, there are at least 2 people mic'd at that during the ceremony.
Got it. Okay.
And then we are also switching the audio to what's the best audio source.
Okay.
And so then, if your ceremony is 30 minutes long, we're giving you a 30-minute long video where you can kind of see like the best view the whole time of your ceremony.
So cool.
So that's a little bit different for us from other videographers, and that's going to be the same for every wedding. You're always going to have a ceremony.
So is it like 2 of you are holding cameras and then 2 are on?
Exactly.
Like,
Yep, on tripods. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
That's
like
awesome.
that. Yep. And the ones that are on tripods, we film at really high resolution so that
Yeah.
when I'm editing, I can like crop in.
Crop it in.
Yeah.
That's
And it makes it
awesome.
seem like there are more cameras than there are.
Yeah. Okay. So how far in advance does this like process start? From? Do you know what I mean? Like
Do you
how?
want to answer that?
Yeah, actually, sorry. I'm gonna say something else. Even though we're with like the bride or the groom kind of all day, we really do try to stay back or
In the
out
background.
in the background.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
not like noticeable or like at the ceremony. We're not gonna be at the front filming. You know,
Standing
like,
right in front
Well,
of
and we
all.
say
really
that because
try-
that happens.
that does
Yeah,
happen.
there are
That's
okay.
happened
Vendors
before.
who do that. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and a lot of couples will have other like things they want, like maybe it's a grandmother or
Yeah.
some a special loved one, and so we try to like that's why meeting beforehand is really important
It is.
to try to just we also go off of the photographer, so
Yeah, so we let the photographer
Yeah.
lead. So
Okay,
like in terms of
cool.
the schedule of the day,
Yeah.
we're like your priority. Cause we've done wedding photography. We know the deal.
Yeah.
It just works best if they're just
If
running
they're
the show.
Yeah. That's
And
awesome.
so we really just shadow them, and we might have some input here and there, but we
Yeah.
try to just
Yeah.
kind of be in the background,
yeah. Mhm.
fly on the wall.
So, like, if someone wants to book you, like, as we're making this, for example, it's
Yeah.
December right now. If my wedding is in August,
Yeah.
am I too far out? Am I behind already? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's an
Yeah.
ideal situation?
As we said a minute ago, videography tends to be like last minute. It's
Yeah.
like the luxury thing,
Mhm.
and we tend to build that into our schedule. So it's 8 months is great for us.
Yeah.
If it's 6 months, we can make that work too.
Yeah.
And we've even had a couple last minute things, but the time of year that books the fastest is really going to determine that question.
Yeah.
That's going to be October. October is like
Really?
the month.
Yeah,
In Tennessee, in East
yeah.
Tennessee, that is the month everyone wants to get married in.
Mhm.
Why?
Well, if you're doing anything
or-
outdoors, it is you get the benefits of both.
Yeah.
You get the benefits of it's cooler weather,
Yeah.
but it hasn't yellowed yet.
Yeah.
Everything is still green.
Oh, okay.
Now in Tennessee, the thing you're bumping up against is the UT schedule, the football
Yeah.
schedule.
What do you mean? I'm just
Right.
No, I know.
But people figure out ways to work around
Yeah.
that. We did that.
Yeah.
We are on a bye week.
We're on a bye week.
And so you kind of figure out how to work with the schedule. But October will book up just like that. Then I would say September next. It kind of works backwards from there.
And then kind of June.
Yeah.
July and August are just hot, so we don't. That's not.
I would have thought May is like the hot time, but I guess not.
May's pretty popular.
It's
Yeah.
popular.
The winter months are when no one has weddings. It
Yeah.
seems like.
Yeah.
I mean, we get 1 or 2 occasionally, but like
Yeah.
from January 1st to like March 31st, there's like very few weddings that we shoot.
I just want to point out that these people very clearly from our rapid fire are not like diehard UT fans. However, they still plan their wedding around it because it is such a big thing.
That's right. Your
Right.
guests care.
Your guests
Yeah.
care. Like, and trust and believe that if you do have your wedding during a UT game, there's gonna be people in the crowd watching the game,
100%.
not watching your wedding.
We
So-
actually shot a wedding
100%.
recently where they knew that, and the bride and groom were pretty big fans, and so
Yeah.
in the venue they just had TVs on.
See,
Yeah.
yeah.
They embrace
Right.
it.
Right.
You
Yeah.
kind of got to do
Yeah.
that.
He even
Um,
like changed into a UT shirt.
At one point.
Oh, that's
yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
What are some of your favorite like venues or do you have favorite venues? And if
Totally.
yeah, what are some of your
Yeah.
favorite places?
there is Marblegate is one of my favorite places. It's near Maryville.
Yeah.
It's actually across from where we got married, but and it's
It's
just
like this
Is it like
huge-
outdoors?
It's outdoors.
It's,
Okay.
well,
They
it's,
have indoor
it's like
spaces.
everything.
Yeah.
There's a bar in there. There's an indoor space. There's an outdoor
Yeah.
space by a like lake. There's a house where you can get ready in.
I like to
There's
call it,
like
it's
a
like
garden.
the Chick-fil-A of wedding venues
Yes.
because their
Oh.
service is so good.
They
Like their
have
My
customer
pleasure.
service.
Yeah.
100%.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So that, I would say it's our favorite to shoot at because
Yeah.
the people who work there are just so
Yeah,
great.
they have
That's
golf
awesome.
carts. They have, so they really have it all. So that's one of my favorites.
We
just
actually
because
last year we shot 2 weddings back to back, Friday and a Saturday wedding at Marblegate.
Oh,
And,
wow.
yeah.
I was like, we should have just spent the night.
I know, you should have stayed there.
I
Oh
know.
my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. What's kind of cool about Knoxville or like the Knoxville area is you have such a variety of wedding venues.
Yeah.
Like if you want to get married in a barn or in like an urban setting
Yeah.
or in something a little bit more swanky like the press room in downtown, there's just like such a variety of styles.
Yes.
And like I said, like very few people are getting married in a church these days.
Yeah.
It's just kind of fun.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah,
Actually.
it's kind of fun to just be in these other spaces. There's so
Yeah.
many good event spaces, and Knoxville is really unique because you have such a variety.
Yeah.
It's not all just the same thing.
Yeah. So, how do you know, like, how does someone know, beyond budget, and say somebody's thinking about doing wedding videography, they have the budget for it, like, how do they choose the right, like, what are things they need to ask vendors? Like, who, you know what I mean? Like, how do they know
Yeah.
if it's a fit or not?
I would say you really need to know how well they work with other vendors, just in general, no matter who you're hiring, if it's the
Yeah.
florist, if it's the DJ, if it's the videographer, like, how well do they work with others is just a really good question because
Yeah.
then you'll begin to learn some vendors see themselves as the most important person of the day.
Yeah.
And we've seen that go bad in even where it's a bride and groom arguing with a caterer or a florist or a DJ. And then of course behind the scenes, if your vendors aren't working well together, you're just not going to get the best whatever, right? Best video, best photos. So I would say make sure they work well with others is probably one I would list. What else would you
And
say?
I would just say, like, if you're like thinking about a wedding video, just go to that person's website and watch some of the videos they've done, because
Yeah.
some people like long 15-minute highlight videos, you know,
Yeah.
like some people want shorter ones, or some people are like a little
People
more
really care about like
moody.
the social media
Yeah,
posts.
the social media posts. Some people care, like some videographers are super specific and like, we're not using this music.
Yeah.
Like, so
Oh,
those
I
are
see.
just like
Making
questions.
sure.
to
Yeah, it is a little bit
ask.
different than like picking a photographer because when you're picking a photographer, the thing you know you're going to get is photos.
Right.
It's like, I'm getting photos.
Right.
With a videographer, they're editing it, and so what you're getting is not going to be the same thing from videographer to
Right,
videographer.
that makes sense.
So you need to find out, the fancy word for that is deliverables. Like, what is the thing I'm going to get as
Right.
the client? So like for us, the main thing that you get from us is, of course, I mentioned that ceremony video that we do.
Yeah.
But the other thing you get is what we call the wedding highlight video.
Yeah.
And for us, that's an 8-minute long video that is just a snapshot of your whole day from beginning to end. And it's going to sometimes include music or toasts or letter reading of the bride and groom. It's going to include some other elements or whatever. And then you're going to get all the raw video that we shot from the day.
Oh, that's
unedited.
cool.
Yeah.
So that's what we give you.
Yeah.
Every videographer is different. And so
Yeah,
you
so
want
it
to make
could be
sure that the
different,
thing that
like-
you're getting,
Yeah.
and we've had one client where we met with them and what they thought they were getting and what we gave them was not in alignment.
Yeah.
And that stinks, right?
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
not
yeah.
a situation that anybody wanted to happen.
Right.
So it's so important that you know what you want and that what you're getting from that videographer is in
right.
alignment.
So essentially, examples would be like what you said, like the long form video,
Yeah.
a highlight reel, like 8 minutes. You said
Yeah.
maybe you want social media posts, maybe you
Exactly.
want like
Yeah.
Yep. A TikTok
whatever.
or something.
Yeah. So being clear about, I do think the raw footage thing is cool because
Yeah.
then you can do whatever you
Yeah,
want.
we're the
Yeah.
only ones to my knowledge
not-
I've ever met who
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah. Well, and our view is like it's your wedding day,
Right.
Yeah.
so have your footage.
Yeah.
Right. And then you have endless possibilities forever of
Yep.
stuff that you
Right,
can create
yeah.
later, you know, whatever. Okay, yeah, so I was looking on your website about your different packages, which I think is cool. And like my husband and I, we eloped, and I
Right.
wish we would have had video
Mm.
because we use like a company that just does elopements or whatever, and it was beautiful. stunning, whatever, but like I have requested our vows multiple times.
Oh yeah.
And I wish we had that on video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just think that's cool on the elopement end of it. Like, do you have a lot of people that do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? I just want to make a plug for it because I feel like you'll want it later.
Yeah.
Well, what's nice about the elopement package is, for us, it's just 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's really small. It's a really affordable package. It's $1,200, I think is what it is right now. And so we've done a couple of those, especially we did one in Cades Cove. That was really
that's
sweet.
cool.
Yeah.
And typically with an elopement, it might be the parents of the bride and groom,
Yeah.
the minister, a photographer, and us.
Yeah.
So it's just
super-
really small,
Yeah.
it's really intimate, and we're just going to get a bunch of fun shots.
Yeah.
And so then it's more of like just relaxed, laid back,
Right.
and of course we'll get the ceremony, but we'll get some fun stuff. Like with
Yeah.
them, we had them like running through the field,
field.
like
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
that's like-
Just
that's
being
fun.
silly together.
Yeah.
Well, when
Yeah.
it's so few people to manage,
Yeah.
like you have
Exactly.
a lot more, whatever. What about engagement videos?
Yeah,
we
Is
do
that a
those.
thing?
we do those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing, and we have some on our website too.
Yeah.
We don't like advertise packages, but
Yeah.
it's certainly something we
Like
need
an
to do.
option.
Yeah, totally.
Basically.
We've done that
Um,
several.
Yeah, the ones that it's like when you have a proposal where the guy has really planned out something elaborate
Yeah.
and has we're clued in,
Yeah.
and Jill's maybe already ready at the spot, and maybe I'm
Yeah,
following
Yeah,
okay.
it's fun.
the bride to be. It's really sweet, and there's always this moment when she sees the camera and she understands what's
she knows.
happening, and you get to capture that look, like
Yeah.
that awareness hit
Like,
her.
Yeah.
I know what's
Oh my gosh,
happening today.
yeah. Oh.
I honestly probably like the engagement videos better.
Yeah,
than
they're
anything
really
else.
fun.
Yeah.
That is
There's
fun.
a lot of adrenaline.
Okay, so is there anything like that I haven't asked you that people need to know about Noble Limits, about wedding videographer? Like what if I'm not asked that I'm missing?
I would say one thing would be the music. People just think you can use any song, and we license all of our music. And
Oh,
every
okay.
videographer I know does the licensing.
So when you say you license it, like you,
we
what do
pay
you
the
mean?
artist
Okay,
to
got
use
it.
their
Okay,
song,
okay.
and not every artist makes their music available for things like
Yeah.
weddings,
Right,
right?
okay.
And so if you're like John Mayer, you are not letting some random Knoxville videography company use your music. So
True.
that's something you got to know if you're booking is like, I might have to make a little bit of concessions. If I have like, it's our song and like we sing this one Taylor Swift song, You Belong With Me.
Yeah, that's not happening.
No, we
No.
can't. We don't know Taylor. Like we can't make that happen.
Right.
She does not care about our $100 or whatever it is
Right.
we would have to pay her. So that's something just to keep in mind. We really want the video to look good. So what we love is when clients come to us and they're willing to hear our feedback on what they should or should not include in their wedding day.
Okay.
Because we've done over 100 weddings. Like we know what
Yeah.
will work really well. And so if we have a client and they're like, we want to do a bubble send off at 10 p.m., we're going to go, okay, you're probably not going to see the bubbles. It's going to be pitch black.
Right. Yeah.
It just won't show up. So what if we did something that emitted some light, some sparklers, some glow sticks? What could we think of
Yeah.
if you're set on that time? It really is helpful to have a client who is willing to hear how our perspective on how their wedding video could look better.
Yeah.
Because if you have something, most people have never gotten married before. Most people, this is their first wedding.
Right.
They don't professionally plan weddings. We've
Right.
been at a lot.
Right.
So it's really
You know
helpful
what's-
when we can,
right.
go back and forth with some feedback.
Yeah.
We'll
that's
do
a good
whatever.
idea.
Yeah,
We'll
you
go
can
with
totally
whatever.
do bubbles at 10.
Yeah.
You just,
You might not
will
see
we
them on the
see
video.
them? I don't know.
Yeah.
But we
I
want the
know.
video to be great.
Yeah.
So
So the intention is like making a product of something that you want to look at again and again
Right.
and again.
Yeah, because again, if like to use that example, what would be the point of capturing that moment on video if you can't see anything?
Right.
It's pitch black.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Why do we want that video?
There
Yeah.
were bubbles there, I promise.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm keep thinking about the music situation because I can imagine people being very specific about like what they want or
We've
whatever.
never heard anyone get angry, but sometimes
Yeah.
they're surprised to hear that they
Yeah.
just can't use anything.
Yeah.
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 And what we try to do is we try to match your vibe. So like we will, and it's always something that's in flex. So if we send
Yeah.
you a video, one of the things that we do is we just say, tell us what you want changed. Because
Yeah.
we want you to love the video. If you get the highlight video and you're like, this music is terrible, I do not
Yeah,
care
this
for
is not
this,
me or whatever.
we'll totally
Yeah.
change it.
Okay.
But what we typically do is, whatever the style of your wedding was, if you get married in a barn and you have a lot of country music playing at your reception, then we know that's really the direction we need to go for your
Right.
for your music. And it's just the
Yeah.
whole style all around of the video.
Do you have like a couples intake form or something, or like a
Yeah,
No,
actually
we
we
have
do.
like a
Yeah.
questionnaire.
So
that
when you
we
book,
ask.
we do ask, when you just ask for an inquiry,
Yeah.
like we ask you a couple of style questions then, but then after you book with us, we start to send you questionnaires about, you specifically as a couple,
Yeah.
and you planning your wedding. What are your colors? What kind of music are you going to listen to? We even ask things like, are there any awkward family dynamics we need to know about ahead of time?
Yeah,
right?
I wondered about that.
That's just helpful to know
Yeah.
sometimes.
Right.
So we do try to be prepared and show
Yeah.
up ready to go.
That's cool. Well, because I'm just thinking, like, also if you meet a couple that you're like, this
No,
ain't for
we
us,
have,
like,
we have met some people that we were
Yeah.
like, this is not the right fit.
Yeah. Okay. So you can tell people that, like, I mean, you can do whatever you want. I guess.
I have never said to someone, you're not the right fit for us. We'll usually just say, we're not available or something, but sometimes
So if they
it's
tell
just,
you they're not available,
you don't know if that
no,
happens.
no.
No, just it is important that it is the right fit, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Well, because people are all different.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Different things.
We love, and if it's like,
Yeah.
no, you don't seem to even like each other, then
Yeah,
we're,
that's
gonna,
like a-
we're not going to be
gonna
interested. Yeah.
be
That'd be miserable. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes if there's a little bit of travel involved, we might get to stay somewhere
Yeah.
new.
So it's nice.
Or sometimes we will shoot weddings that maybe are in the morning and we'll get to go have dinner together afterward.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just kind of nice.
Yeah.
And again, we got into this because of our own marriage, like getting married.
Yeah.
and
Right.
So every time we go, it's a good reminder of why we're doing it.
Yeah,
We're doing
that's
it
cool.
with our marriage partner.
They believe in it,
We really do. Yeah, we're pro marriage.
which
Yeah.
is like,
We love it. It's great.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys live in Talbot.
We do.
Correct.
Tell us, give me 3 words to describe Talbot.
Ooh.
In between. Can it be one
Ooh.
word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hyphenated, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Between.
Say in between.
In
You
between.
can do the next one.
I would say quiet.
It is quiet.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is quiet. I agree.
Yeah.
And
Affordable.
yes,
Real
It's
estate
true.
wise.
yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. So you guys purchased a D.R. Horton house.
We did.
Yes.
How was your experience? What's been some positive things about that?
We
Been a
had a
great
great.
experience.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been great. We yeah.
I mean, I would say for us, we really wanted the neighborhood community aspect of it. And our neighborhood, I don't know this is always going to be the case, but we just happen to luck out where it's a lot of other families.
Yeah.
It's a lot of families with like young kids.
Right.
And so it feels like we're living in the 1980s. It's like there are always kids like riding their
Yeah.
bikes, and like Halloween, it was just like flooded with children.
Oh, I bet that's
It's
fun.
just
yeah.
really
It's
cool.
fun. Yeah, but we had a great experience with D.R. Horton.
We haven't had any quality
Yeah.
issues. They've all
Yeah.
been great.
It's been great.
They were really good customer service wise. So yeah, I mean, we would do it again.
Yeah. So you knew, like, when you bought this property, you definitely wanted new construction, or was it just like the right timing? You know what I mean? Like, what was the...
It was like all that was available.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
that was in our price range.
Yeah.
We didn't really care. It was like we wanted a good house. That was
Yeah.
and we needed a bigger house because of the kids. And so it was like, well, we can this is our price range, and we can afford this new construction. Whereas if we were to find something that was a little bit older but really nice, it's probably out of our price range.
Yeah. Which is nice about, like, D.R. Horton in general, is you can tend to get similar square footage,
Right.
brand new with bedrooms at a much more affordable kind of price.
Well, and what
point.
was nice is like we got in while it was being built. Like we signed
Yeah.
the contract before they even broke ground, and so they kept inviting us to come to the site with their workers, and we could review everything
Yeah.
and give feedback. And then like they were like, you need to take video of everything that happens. And so now I like to do house projects on our house. And when I'm like redoing a bedroom or a bathroom, it's like I can pull up these videos and I know exactly what's inside the wall.
Oh, that's
Makes
smart.
it so easy.
Yeah. That is very smart.
So I don't know what I was expecting because we had never done that before,
Yeah.
but that was just so helpful for them to invite us into that process.
Right. So if someone is thinking, like, I want to come to the Knoxville area,
Yeah.
what's your plug for, like, the Lakeway area, Jefferson City, Morristown, Talbot? Like, because I get that question a lot. Like, why this over, like, Knoxville or something?
Well,
you know what I mean?
it's definitely cheaper.
Sure,
than,
it's more
like
affordable.
right
Yeah,
in
that's true.
Knoxville, but it's not too far from Knoxville.
Mhm.
Like this morning, we were able to run to Target and back. You know, like it's not like so far from a big city, and Morristown is actually very nice.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would say it's like you're close to so many other places.
Yeah.
It's not just Knoxville.
Yeah.
It's like we're close to Sevierville, Knoxville, Asheville. It's not too far. Tri-Cities, and then Morristown is pretty nice. And Lakeway is just beautiful in general.
It's really nice.
It's beautiful by itself.
And there's less traffic. Even though I grew up in Knoxville, I go back. I'm like, there's so many people. So it's like that is nice. It's just a nice. I think in between is such a good word. For it, for Talbot specifically, but it is.
You can kind of quickly get kind of anywhere you need to.
Yeah. So top 3 places to eat in the area.
Well, so you're not going to be eating in Talbot. Because there's like a Dollar General.
Yeah, well, it's like a street.
There's a Dollar General.
It's like
that's right.
Yeah.
You're going to go
There's
somewhere else. But if you're in Morristown, that's probably the closest bigger city. Cheddar's is good.
Is there.
Are you wanting like the local places?
No, you can talk. You literally, if someone was like, "Where do I need to go eat?"
Aubrey's.
Okay.
Because you got in Knoxville.
Yeah. Right.
Aubrey's is our go-to.
Cheddar's.
Yeah.
Aubrey's, Cheddar's, anything else?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Chick-fil-A.
So
Chick-fil-A.
if you like tacos,
yes.
There's this newer place called El Gordo that is in Morristown, right past the Home Depot, and it looks like it's not going to be very good. Like it's just like one of those like old trailer
kind of thing.
It's like it's like a trailer you can pull to like an event venue or whatever. But they're permanently set up there, and they have tables like picnic tables you can sit at, and they make phenomenal tacos of all kinds, and they're cheap. So if you're wanting some authentic Mexican food, that would be my recommendation.
That's awesome. Okay, hold on one second, because this is about to go off, and I have 2 more questions for you.
Oh yeah.
One eternity later.
You guys said you have little children.
Yeah.
What are your top recommendations for things to do in the area with kiddos?
There are a lot of parks.
Yeah, we do
a lot of great parks. So there's a park called Jolly Park in Morristown, and it is huge. Like they just built it a year and a half ago. And what's cool is it's made for kids with disabilities. It's open to everybody though. And so if you have a kid who has maybe a mobility issue, it doesn't matter. Like they're gonna be able to play on all this stuff.
Is that the one like on the main?
It's on Morse Boulevard. It's a main road.
Okay.
Right. It's kind of near First Baptist.
Okay, yeah, super nice. Okay,
it's a great park. Okay. There are a lot of good parks.
Yeah, that we do a lot of parks because they're just close and they're all nice
free.
and they're free. Yes, we do.
Wayne Hansard is a good park. I would say another thing to do with kids is, maybe if your kids are a little bit older, is Morristown Landing is the new community center. Okay. They have like rock climbing, basketball gym, a really nice pool. So we go there a lot.
Yeah, and they have a splash pad in the front that's like on during the summer, and that's free.
Oh, that's nice.
And the other park is Panther Creek, the state park.
Yeah, and it's a really nice park.
A little creek.
Creek is nice,
Yeah.
Got a lot of hiking trails.
So there's so many like free options too.
And there are a lot of groups of, especially moms, like Facebook groups and stuff that get together periodically. If you have young kids, like there's stuff for you to do.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, well, 2 more questions. I lied. What is the most underrated thing about East Tennessee? Or if you want to go opposite and say overrated, I'll take it. But I mean,
underrated.
I should have thought about this first.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. Let's see. I just like it's not in the mountains, but you can see the mountains.
You're mountain adjacent.
Yeah, like I just feel like it is such a good.
If you're like you want to be outdoorsy, but you're maybe not yet.
Yeah.
It's a gateway.
It's gateway outdoorsy.
It's like you're kind of there, but it's not like Chicago.
Like super urban.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that. Okay. Yeah. I think that makes sense actually. Well, because I think the other thing that makes why it's underrated is the weather. Because our weather here is a lot more mild than like Nashville or Memphis. Yeah. Because they are flat and on plateaus, and so like Memphis has much more ice storms, tornadoes, as does Nashville. So because we're in the valley of the mountains, like we get a lot less.
I'm gonna say the Knoxville Zoo is underrated. I think the Knoxville Zoo is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, but I don't know why. I just don't hear people talk about it a lot. I think it kind of flies under the radar, at least here in our area. But it's great.
It is great.
Yeah, I think it's super nice. Okay, awesome. So if people want to connect with Noble Limits,
Yeah.
what should they do? Where should they go?
Well, you can go to our Instagram. Noble Limits CC is our Instagram handle, or of course our website, noblelimits.com. That's going to be the best way. And then if you just want to like talk to us, we love that too. You know, if you're like, I don't even know if we want a wedding video, but I just want to talk to somebody who does this. We love FaceTiming people and
Other things.
well, and yeah, we do others. Yeah, we've talked mostly about wedding video stuff, but we do like some local small business video stuff too.
Yeah.
Like some marketing stuff too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I need to hire you.
Hit us up.
All right. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. Thank you
And
for having us.
we'll see you guys later.